Hi, I'm Jen, and welcome to Christian Fire Poppy. It is just 1 week exactly before Christmas today, so I hesitate to record a video on this topic. I'm loath to do it, to be honest. However, when I originally shared the George Albert Smith holiday prophecy, the internet was not yet buzzing with rumors about drone formations in the news, potentially searching for radioactive material. So, given these developments, I feel compelled to do a quick follow-up and share a bit more information, including 3 practical preparation steps you can take just in case. In today's world, it's increasingly difficult to discern truth, and since 2020, we've all learned that almost anything is possible.
Well, crap is about to hit the fan. Russia ready to launch a massive retaliation attack in response to what happened just a few hours ago, an assassination that was carried out on a top Russian general in Moscow. Now, this man right here is Igor Kirillov. He was just assassinated by the CIA-backed Ukrainian SBU in Moscow. Now, I'm very clear when I say that. Ukraine doesn't do anything on its own. It is all run by the CIA and NATO by proxy. That's how they carried this out. In other words, NATO just carried out an assassination inside of Moscow on a top Russian general. Let that sink in. That on December 2nd, the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission disclosed that a medical device containing radioactive material was lost in transit in New Jersey. What? Essentially a dirty bomb or a small dirty bomb is missing? Okay. The event notification report, as published here in Zero Hedge with the manifest, shows that this thing has been lost in transit. The shipping container arrived at its destination damaged and empty. We've lost some radioactive material. So he's one of many people and sources that we've spoken to here over the past year who said that this was coming, and they gave us specific dates when they told us it was coming, and they hit those dates. So now it's here. But this is the most mind-blowing thing of all. A post on 4chan in 2022. Okay, now this has been removed. This has been covered up and censored multiple times. I'm going to read to you from this, okay? So this is, again, from 2022. The next false flag will be centered on the premise of malicious interdiction of nuclear source materials. It will not involve a nuclear device or nuclear detonation, but rather a radiological threat. Nuclear source materials will be deliberately leaked to target areas to inflict severe injuries through radiation exposure.
Radioactive accidents have happened in history. One example is Guania accident that was a radioactive contamination accident that occurred on September 13, 1987 in Brazil, after an unsecured radiotherapy source was stolen from an abandoned hospital site in the city. In the consequent cleanup operation, topsoil had to be removed from several sites, and several houses were demolished. All the objects from within those houses, including personal possessions, were seized and incinerated. Time magazine has identified the accident as one of the world's worst nuclear disasters, and the International Atomic Energy Agency called it one of the world's worst radiological incidents. So I think there is higher risk in the areas where we are seeing these drones congregate and how it's being reported. So drones have been spotted at Hill Air Force Base near Ogden, Utah. So I just wanted to throw this out to all the people in Utah that I love. Just keep an eye on this thing, and you can see that they have been flying around the Hill Air Force Base. We also have from the aerospace CEO, you have this Newsweek headline that mystery drones could be trying to find radioactive material. So this is not just a random person spreading a rumor. This is the CEO of these actual drones that are flying around. So again, we don't know for sure, but with these theories flying around, there is increased risk of this type of thing. And if we learned anything from 2020, it's probably okay to do a little bit of preparation when we hear rumors of possible problems of this nature. So I don't think it will hurt anyone to take a few steps. 3 actions you can take now to prepare for any radiation emergency. Well, first, pray to know if you need to take any action. If you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, even better if you take your concern to the temple. 2, you can purchase potassium iodide or Ki pills. They're only $9 on Amazon. And you can purchase a Geiger counter to detect radiation. You can get this for $40 on Amazon, kind of a cheaper mid-range price. And the reason you want to do that now is because when we find out for sure if this is a problem, these items will be gone. It will be too late. So you have to buy these items before the majority of people realize this is a legitimate problem. So you can find these items on Amazon. As far as the potassium iodide or Ki pills go, in a radiation emergency, some people may be told to take Ki to protect their thyroid. So do not take Ki unless instructed by public health or emergency response officials or a healthcare provider. And it is recommended only for people under 40 and not for people who are pregnant or breastfeeding. So this is not something you want to take lightly. People can have allergies to this. This is just something to have on hand in case you find yourself in the middle of emergency, because if there is a radiation exposure, you want to take it within 4 hours of that exposure, which means you need to have it on hand beforehand. And again, this is to protect you from cancer that occurs in the thyroid years and years down the road. So that's why it is only for young people. Second item, that would be the most important item, I would say, and the cheapest. The next most important item would be a Geiger counter. That helps manage radiation exposure by detecting the presence and level of ionizing radiation in an area, allowing individuals to identify potential sources of radiation and take necessary precautions to minimize their exposure, like moving away from a high radiation area or wearing protective gear if needed. It's basically a monitoring tool. And even if there's nothing in your area, even if we just have more of a scare and you start feeling unsure if this is a problem, you can have this little portable device and know with more surety if that is something that you need to worry about. And that is it for today. Thank you for joining me.